Hi everyone, Jennifer here. It's time for another etiquette chat video, and today we're going to be talking about Facebook etiquette. This is going to be a nice juicy video because I know that we all have our ideas about the proper etiquette for Facebook. Everybody has seen things that have either horrified them or that bother them, or they've dealt with situations on Facebook. And you know, this is the new frontier really of etiquette. Social media, online presence. So I think it's a very important topic. So let's dive right in. It will come as no surprise to any of you who know me that my #1 Facebook etiquette tip is to not overshare. In my book, Lessons from Madame Chic, one of the chapters is called Cultivate an Air of Mystery. And it's so important that we don't just share every single aspect of our lives to people online. It might feel like a good place to vent, but I think at the end of the day, it's good to just keep some things personal. So I just think it's wise to think before you post. And, you know, if you have a Facebook addiction where you can't go without posting, you've got to constantly update people on things, you know, just the smallest details of your life, it's just something to question. You know, how much are you sharing? How much are you not sharing? There's no right number for anybody. Just find the right balance for you and your family. Okay, this is a big one. I think it's really poor etiquette and not very wise to complain about your work, your occupation on Facebook. You might think that you're just venting and sharing to your friends about something that happened at work or this or that, but you don't know how secure your site is necessarily, and whatever you're venting about could get back to your boss or your coworkers or things like that. It's really important that you just really think before you do things like that, because what you post online is there forever. You don't, you know, someone could take a screenshot of it and you could be compromising your job. Another thing that goes hand in hand with that is to not post compromising photos of yourself. Let's say you go to a party and you know, you have a really wild time and you're posting pictures of yourself online and everything's, you know, funny and hilarious, but then let's say you're going for a job interview and your boss, you know, Googles you and sees these pictures on your Facebook page. It's really important to think about your professional life as well when you are posting on your personal page, because you never know who will see what or what can sort of get to your employers or potential employers. Okay, photo tagging. This is a big one. We've all been tagged in a photo where we just do not look very good. Right? I mean, how that has happened to everybody, and it's annoying. Maybe the person who tags you in the photo looks fabulous, but you just do not look good. So it's always wise, if you have any doubts, to ask before you tag somebody in a photo. Let's say you're all together and you take a picture and then you check it out and say, do you mind if I put this on Facebook? That's just, you know, common courtesy, and because sometimes people do mind. They don't want an unflattering picture of themselves seen by hundreds of their friends, which I can totally understand. Okay, this is a big one. If you attend a special life event for somebody else, let's say you attend a wedding or you go visit a new baby for the first time, something like that, it's really important to get the permission of the bride and groom or of the new parents before you post pictures on your Facebook page. So for example, if you go to a wedding and the bride is the one who wants control of when she releases the first picture of her in her wedding dress, for example, she might not want you, you know, live tweeting or Facebooking the event from the wedding so that other people are seeing these pictures. She might want control of that, or the groom might want control of that. Same thing with a new baby. Let's say a family member has a baby and you go to visit them at the hospital and you take a picture of the adorable baby and put, you know, her name and weight and time of birth and everything on your Facebook page, and all of your mutual friends will see that. Really, the parents should be the one in charge of that announcement. So I just think it's really important to get the permission first. before you post these pictures that are truly, truly special. A good rule of thumb is, let's say you go to a wedding and it's been a few weeks and the bride and groom have already shared their pictures. You know, at that point you could probably share your picture. But it's really important to not, you know, steal their thunder, so to speak, and share those pictures before they want them out there. And now for the biggest topic, I think, in this etiquette video. It's children and Facebook. Here's the dilemma. We all have adorable children and we want to share photos of our children so that our friends can see them, our family can see them, and I totally get that. And actually, the only reason why I like my personal Facebook page is because I love seeing pictures of my friends' children. I just love it. I love seeing them, you know, in the milestones in their lives. And I think it's really special. Now, here's where it becomes an etiquette issue. I personally believe that we should not flood our Facebook page with pictures of our children. Number one, because we need to think about their feelings, their online persona, and whether or not they're going to want these pictures to be online. Whenever I do post a picture of my children, I make sure they're fully clothed. It's not an embarrassing photo. You know, we all have those funny, embarrassing photos of our kids, but I think that those are better suited for the photo album at home that you can show to the grandparents. They're not to show to hundreds of people. And I've seen everything from children on the potty to children, I'm not going to say, I've seen really embarrassing photos of people that they post of their children, and I think it's definitely time to pause for a second and not put those photos of our children on there, because they're going to grow up one day. And I think the rule of thumb is, you know, if you wouldn't want a picture of yourself on the potty, for example, right now, would you? So you're probably not good to put a picture of your child on the potty. That's just, you know, an example. But there are many. There was recently an article that came out about a girl in Austria, I believe, who was suing her parents because they had posted photos of her entire life, embarrassing photos of her, she said, on their Facebook page for about 700 of their friends. And she asked them to take it down and they refused. You know, pictures of her like naked or on the potty or, you know, just doing embarrassing things, and she felt violated. Now, that's an extreme example of suing your parents, obviously. But I think it's important to think about that. How is it going to make your child feel to have these pictures online? And, you know, I know they're cute and they're small, but they're also dignified human beings. So if you wouldn't want a picture of yourself doing something shown on Facebook, I think it's definitely the rule that you shouldn't have pictures of your children doing that thing on Facebook. Also, another survey that recently came out that said that older children wanted to be asked by their parents first before they post a photo of them on Facebook. It's the same thing as when you want to be informed when you're going to be tagged in a picture, especially if it's unflattering. They have feelings too, and they don't necessarily want their entire life online for hundreds of people to see, especially if your privacy settings are not that good. You have to keep in mind that they are going to grow up and they're going to have careers one day. Your child could even be the president of the United States. And so they will appreciate if they don't have just hundreds of photos, and many embarrassing photos of themselves online. Of course, there is a mix. I do post photos of my children on my personal Facebook page. But again, I try to make sure that they are not embarrassing photos, that everybody's clothed, that, you know, we're not, you know, doing anything that could cause them embarrassment later in the future. It's definitely food for thought. There is so much more that I could say in this video, but, you know, maybe I'll do a follow-up discussion. I would love to hear your thoughts on this week's video. What are your thoughts on Facebook etiquette? Are there any subjects or topics that you'd like to add to this that we could discuss in a future video? Do you have any etiquette horror stories for Facebook? Things that you notice that you would like to address? Let me know in the comment section below. Or let me know on social media using the hashtag Madame Chic. and this will be a really fun discussion. Thank you so much for joining me on the Daily Connoisseur. I'll see you soon. Bye.